What's up, everybody? Today we are going to look at what waterfall actually means in product software development, and it's a little bit different than agile. So we're going to look at both of those. Today is just waterfall. So within software development, basically you have these different phases where requirements are written, documented. Those things are then handed off, and it's actually designed visually. Then it's built, it's implemented, then it's tested, it's verified, and then you have this actual up and running software system. What that tends to look like would be something like this, where you have these requirements documents, a couple of different kinds. One would be more on a actual architectural level, so as far as the database that's sending in the data here, so the middle tier can then pull it up and drop it into the UI, and how does that interrelate with another source of data, and when it gets sent from the internal to the external electronic prescriber and then back to shore scripts, and kind of the actual directions that the data is being sent. And then you also get these requirement documents that will end up looking quite a bit. Yikes, let's do that later. Sorry, everybody. Sorry, everybody. So these documents that end up looking like this, where you've got the scope and the references and acronyms and this basically huge document that needs to be read through so that the designers and project owners and product owners can put them together and say, okay, this is kind of what we're thinking for this part of the requirement document. We can then take that and say, okay, does this requirements document that has all these words in it that tells you have to have the ability for them to choose a location, and we're going to default it to family or community, and there needs to be a duration screen, and there needs to be a drop down for methods, and then where do those fields actually go together, and who's going to make sure that we have these that are checkboxes rather than radio buttons, or vice versa. So then you get through that design phase, and then it actually gets launched, and then you have this live actual, here's a requirement document that had a requirement only for being able to show the brand or sort by all versus current, as well as this other piece of it that's maybe the patient header that has medication list, sample list, all these different pieces of it that are all finally put together as a finally built project. Now, if we go back to this guy, basically all the requirements are done, and then all the design is done, and then all the code is done, and then everything is verified, and then it's finally launched and a live piece of software, which could take 2 or 3 years, depending on the size and scope of this. A little bit different than Agile. Agile works quite a bit differently, so make sure you check out the video for that. And if you have any questions, of course, leave comments in the section below. Thanks, everyone.